you know it's going to be a tough road being an entrepreneur. Everybody thinks like, oh, you're a business owner, like, oh, everything's great.
Because our customer base is pretty strong. Like, they become loyal to the products. They really love that technology. So
it's just so simple as like, go where your audience is, right?
Wix e-commerce is the professional platform that enables entrepreneurs all over the world to create and run their online stores and grow their e-commerce businesses. One of those entrepreneurs is Angel Gregorio, who runs thespicesweet.com, a $2 million multi-channel business on Wix. When the pandemic forced so many brick-and-mortar businesses to close their doors, Angel knew she had to pivot to online to keep selling her spices and keep up with the demand from her loyal customers. In fact, in just a few months, she sold over $900,000 worth of spices through her online store, and her last batch sold out in 2.5 minutes. Angel uses social channels to drive special sales and email marketing to update her customers about new inventory and upcoming events. She also uses in-depth analytics to gain business insights and monitor everything in her sales funnel: store management, marketing automations, and detailed payment reports, all from one dashboard. So if you want to succeed in 2021 and grow your online business like Angel did, head over to wix.com/e-commerce today. Ever wonder how the e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they just know the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized, multi-channel marketing campaigns using the most powerful asset: your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant email and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with your free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.
You're listening to E-Commerce Uncensored with Kevin Manell and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 217. My name is Kevin Manell, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
Did I startle you there? You weren't ready. You didn't know I was going?
I was reading a text from somebody and you just started, so I wasn't ready. That's right.
So today we're joined with Jake Sullivan. He created handout gloves. Him and another founder he had. He was on Shark Tank, and he has a really interesting story of these gloves that he created that really just solve a problem that he was seeing. And they're really cool product. Like, I think they're completely something I would buy and completely useful for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he you could totally tell that he's scratching his own itch, and just in the background he had two snowboards, and it's funny because these handout gloves are they're, to be honest with you, Kevin, like, I'm surprised they aren't bigger, like, because it's such a friggin' problem.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I thought he was going to tell us, like, yeah, we're a $20 million business, like, because, like, I feel like it's an amazing product. So we go into, like, manufacturing, we go into the technology, like how he got into it. Turned out to be pretty interesting, because, like, at first you and I went to his website and it's like, we're sold out for the season. We're like, oh shit, what are we going to talk about? But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I think that's a dream too, is like to be able to be in a niche that you're so passionate about that, like, it's almost like you're not working. I mean, he's out snowboarding and he's working at the same time, I'm sure.
Yeah, which is awesome.
So that's what we want to do with golf, turn it into something that can produce some money, right, Jason?
We're just having a hard time starting it.
We bought the equipment. We got the equipment ready.
Exactly.
So anyway, here's our interview with Jake Sullivan from Handout Gloves. Hey, Jake, thank you so much for joining us today. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me. I'm really psyched to be here.
Yeah, you had a really, really cool product. I think both Jason and I, when we first saw it, were like, Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense and a great product. So why don't you first give us a little bit of background about yourself and kind of how this whole thing got started?
Yeah. So my name's Jake Sullivan. The brand is Handout Gloves, and kind of right to the point with that name. We run a strategically placed zipper on the back of the glove, allows you to get your hand out without taking the glove off, gives you full 5-finger dexterity. And like you said, it truly is a game changer. So many little things to manage, other pockets, zippers, your phone, your headphones, readjusting your goggles, whatever it may be. Just getting that quick 5-finger dexterity is awesome. And then, yeah, kind of with me, my background has always kind of been in the snow sports industry. Sorry. I started working at a different glove company, Celtech. They're around for a real long time. They kind of did the more fun style gloves and had some like candy pop colors and iterations. And, they're a really cool brand, and started there. And my business partner, Don Wildman, we rode, that was just what we did. That's how we got along, was snowboarding together. And we were, consumers of this company that had these gloves with these zippers on them. And he would get them, as gifts. And every Christmas, that's kind of what everyone received from him. And we were on the chairlift one day, and he had heard that they had gone out of business. And so he, asked me, having worked at a different glove company growing up, what do you think if we bought this brand out and, brought it back to market? And that was kind of our play, because we were such fans of the product. We didn't want to see it leave the market. So we bought it out, rebranded to Handout Gloves, made some improvements. We worked on the zipper, we achieved our patent, made some different changes, pass pocket, hand warmer pocket. And, we just didn't want to let it leave the market. So we did all that, and, picked up manufacturing and brought it back in 2014. And yeah, so we've been going pretty strong since then. And that's kind of the history, is we just were fans and didn't want to, let it leave the market, because it was so functional. And kind of the timing when we brought it back to market was just great, because, we were using it for years, but that was, small binding management, opening a pocket, whatever on the chairlift, eating a snack, something like that. The smartphones weren't really a thing, or at least as relevant. And when we brought it back to market in 2014, the timing of just smartphones being so consistent in everyone's life, with our glove being able to get all 5 fingers out, and that thumb included, the smartphone on the chairlift just it really like opened the door for our glove making so much sense for a lot more people.
Right. So Jake, basically, just step back a little bit, because obviously people are listening to this on podcast, right? Some people are watching, but basically it's a glove that zippers from the top, and you can take your hand out of it and basically, use your phone, or grab your coffee, or fix your boot when you're on it, whatever.
Yep.
Basically what it is, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay. What's interesting about this is that, obviously you're scratching your own itch, right? It's like, I see the snowboards behind you, and I'm like, okay, you're obviously a snowboarder, right? And you're an outdoors guy. And, you basically didn't want to leave the market because it's something that you use and something that you wanted, right?
Yeah, we were consumers for sure before. And so
which makes it pretty awesome, right? Because like, it's going to be a tough road being an entrepreneur. Everybody thinks like, oh, you're a business owner, like, oh, everything's great and shit. And obviously we all know that's not really the path. Right?
Oh, yeah, there's lots, lots behind that.
There's lots behind that, but you're working with a product that you love because you use it and you see like an awesome application for it. So that makes it that much easier. And it's funny because before I got into business, I didn't really understand how businesses grew so quickly. And everyone thinks that businesses grow really quickly because of some ninja marketing plan, but lots of times it's like they just buy other companies out, right? Like they buy their competitor out. Now they have another 50,000 customers. And that's kind of what you guys did. You guys took this awesome product. You're like, screw it, man. We don't want them to go out of business. Let's just buy it. And now let's make it better.
Yeah, exactly. So we made a couple changes, the name being one, and some improvements on the actual product. And yeah, we really just were consumers. We truly just love the concept and the product and didn't want to let it leave the market. So yeah, that's exactly what we did. And we've been pushing ever since. But yeah, you know, like I said, that was 2014. So definitely nothing's been overnight. You know, here we are 7 years later.
Yeah, and the name too. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of new entrepreneurs and things struggle with the name of they get stuck. They're like, I don't know what I'm going to name it. And you basically just said, well, you take your hand out of the thing. So let's just call it Handout.
Yeah, no, we went back and forth a bunch, and you know, that kind of came back kind of jokingly. And then it was like, no, like, I think that's the name, like, just explains the product. And that's what we're trying to get across.
Handout.
What about your partner? I mean, I saw he's your partner, right? Don?
Yeah, Don Wildman. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him on Shark Tank. And is he still around? I mean, he was like 85 years old on Shark Tank.
Wildman's badass. He was 85 then. Unfortunately, he passed in 2018.
Oh man.
So yeah,
that guy was in great shape.
Oh, he was the epitome of it for sure. I mean, his background is insane. He, you know, started Bally's Total Fitness, and he worked out. He you know, he cycled the day he passed. You know, he working out was his everything.
Wow, man, sorry to hear that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So let's talk about a little bit about the manufacturing of this, because how do you handle that now? Because I guess you had something from the previous company. Is that something you changed or modified too?
Both. You know, we started with the previous manufacturer, and that was a nice, you know, quick connection there. But we since have moved manufacturing just for quality and quantity purposes. But yeah, we just kind of, you know, found a third party that set it up, and I take care of the supply chain now. And that was, you know, back in 2013, 14 that initial setup happened, and until we were satisfied with some samples back and forth, and we're finally like satisfied with the product, that's when, you know, I kind of took over the supply chain management, and have been doing that ever since with our same manufacturer. They've been great. And yeah, that's been pretty simple. We, you know, I work with designers here in Salt Lake, and then we send over new styles for each season. Well, you know, a lot of it's carryover, but we do, you know, change some colors around, just keep it fresh every year. But, you know, most of what we sell is a black glove for sure.
Jake, I want to just ask you a question before I get into your manufacturing, because you know, that's always like something I want to know, is like, how the hell do you friggin' manufacture something? Like,
that's where I'd get stuck. I'd be like,
right.
Yeah, I have this good idea, but I don't know how I'm going to make that ever.
Right. What did you guys see in the product though that had to be improved? Because if you were going to just take what they did and try to just sell what they sold, like, it's kind of like a means to an end, so to speak, right? Because obviously there's a reason why they went out of business, and there could be a million reasons for that. The owners could, you know, spend all the money, whatever. But did you see some things that you're like, shit, you know, we got to change this, and like, this is not as like really that good? And did you guys kind of take that approach to like your business going forward from after acquiring the other company?
I mean, definitely, you know, the name was a big one to change for us, just to kind of make it more user friendly. But a lot of them came, you know, whether it was like warranty issues, like the zipper puller. We have, you know, an extra zipper puller just that's oversized, so when you're both hands are gloved up, it's really easy to start that process. Well, that zipper puller, you know, that was made out of leather originally, and it would pull off, and that would be like a warranty concern. But the price point of the puller was pennies on the glove, and so we, you know, as simple as we changed it to paracord. So now we have a paracord zipper puller that never warranties, never pulls off, and if it does, I can send out a replacement. Where in the past they were, you know, stitched on, and then it was like, well, they need to send back the glove, and the cost exchange for that warranty. So then, you know, that improvement came about, and you know, adding a pass pocket on the cuff, that was just some customer feedback, because now a lot of the ski resorts have a RFID, so it kind of just scans the pass. It's not your traditional barcode with like a physical person there. So, you know, you put your pass in the cuff, and then you put it up against the machine, and that lets you in. So that was just some customer feedback. And you know, we've added hand warmer pocket on the inside where it unzips on the back of the hand, and that's somewhere on a traditional pair of gloves you can't access to add that hand warmer. So each iteration has just kind of come about when that problem came up. We found a solve for it. So that's with a lot of the changing there, and then style. It kind of it took a few years to find ourselves with like what the gloves look like and kind of a real finished look to it, and that that really helped with some design help in-house.
What about like below the zipper? So like I like when I used to ski, right? Obviously, you don't want anything to be able to get in there, not just snow, but just like even like air, right? Like, so is there like when you unzip it, is there like something underneath it that blocks that stuff?
Kind of. So we run like an extra fleece trim
Okay,
running parallel with each zipper. So when it's open, there's those two extra fleece fabric pieces that those kind of bunch up and make that block.
got it. Okay,
And then also the zipper itself, quality YKK weatherproof zipper. So honestly, nothing's getting in or out of that: wind, water, snow.
awesome. Yeah,
And
that
then,
was like one thing I was concerned about. Not
you
concerned
know,
about, but thinking about.
of course, yeah, big use. Big function of that zipper is dumping excess heat. So I'll be like at the bottom of a ski run with them open, like ventilating intentionally, because you create so much heat with all your gear on or whatever. That's such a nice feature, is just keeping that zipper open and ventilating.
Isn't that something? Isn't that crazy? Like as you're going up the lift, for people that who haven't skied, right? As you're going up and you're going on these giant mountains, you freezing your ass off. But then like once you get out and you're going, it's like you start sweating. It's like,
Cooking.
yeah, it's like kind of a crazy thing. It's like you have to be warm enough, so that's a good, I didn't even think about that. Right.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a rotation on the chairlift. It can get freezing on the way up and cooking on the way down.
Not to mention too, like I just started skiing a little bit with my kids. I haven't done it my entire life, and they started doing it. So I was like, I guess I got to do this. So like I'll go up the lift, and I have a hard time even getting on the lift at this point. But like as I'm going up and I see all this stuff on the ground, I'm like poles, gloves, and whatever it is. It's like there's got to be like, it's insane to me that people just drop their shit all over the slope.
Yeah, no, that's another little feature, because really the biggest thing you see is gloves. Yeah, maybe poles. But yeah, no more taking them off. So there's no reason to drop them.
So how did you start? How did you start with sales? Is that did you start online, or were you doing retail? How did that go?
We started popping up at the resort parking lots with a booth tent and a table and just selling the gloves that way. And then that led into trade shows, which, and then, by the time we were doing trade shows, we did have our own e-commerce platform. You go direct sales from our site. So, we got that off the ground really quick. But then, yeah, traditional trade show route, which has definitely changed this year and last year. But yeah, the right retailer came by the booth and really kind of kicked it off for us in the early days. That was REI. The right employee came by the booth and passed the gloves up to the next right person, and we got a quite the REI order, which really got us off the ground. That was everything in the beginning. But yeah, we started in the parking lots up at Brighton Snowbird, selling the gloves that way, just in person. Myself, friend would come help, whatever.
You just sitting outside of the back of an SUV or something like that, just handing the things out?
Back of my truck with an easy up that said handout, and we'd take some laps in between, but selling out of the parking lot's how it started. And then we still focus on our wholesalers, but we have our e-commerce platform's huge, and especially with we've had some Shark Tank exposure, which that really drives people to our site, whether it's us or Amazon or backcountry.com, another
yeah, they're big too,
e-commerce of ours, and they're local here, so we love working with them. But yeah, we do a little bit of mixture of both, because we like to because it's a physical product, and having that glove in stores when tourism or people are in town skiing and maybe they dropped it and they need to go find that replacement pair, having those physical locations really helps still.
What's interesting is that you can't find a more targeted approach than going to the bottom of a ski slope to sell your product, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, that's
and and the interesting part about it is like when you like Kevin and I are digital marketers, and we have an agency, and we have this this wildlife photography magazine that's like digital. And you know, it's funny because people get so hung up on like targeting, right? And it's like it's just so simple as like go where your audience is, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And it's like everybody wants to be this ninja, you know, digital marketer, but if you have a physical product, just go where those friggin' people are, right? Like
Yeah.
you sell a golf product, go to a friggin' golf course.
Uh-huh.
You sell like a ski product, go to a friggin' mountain. I mean, like how much easier could it be than that? And if your product doesn't sell to the exact person who you're targeting, then you got a bigger problem. But
Uh-huh.
you'll know quickly.
Yeah, no, exactly. And our product is kind of something that once you demo it or use it, or even just try it on and get the concept, that's just like the aha moment. And then they know it, you know. So like it by itself on the shelf, you know, black zipper, black glove doesn't necessarily tell the story. But if I'm up there with the tent and I could say, look what this glove does, then it's over with. I can sell it that way so quickly. So yeah, I go straight to them, and you know, kind of targeted with the trade shows as well. Everyone's there for that market, that industry. But yeah, started with the booth up at Brighton.
Plus, I'm sorry, Jason, but it also seems like there's other gloves out there like that, but they just don't take the thumb out, which it almost seems like why the hell didn't they include the thumb in this whole situation?
Of course, yeah, no, there's different zippers, different brands do it a little differently, but that's what sets us apart, that full 5-finger dexterity with the thumb.
Do you have a patent on that design?
Yeah, so we do have a patent on our rigid zipper across the back there.
That's cool. And how was that process for you getting that patent through?
It was long and expensive. But no, it's through. We have it. Definitely worth it. But yeah, a little more costly than we assumed going in, and a little bit longer process than we thought. We kind of, you know, had to go back and forth a couple of times with our patent attorney and the patent office, but it finally came through. It took about maybe like a 3-year process on this one.
Shit.
Yeah,
That's long.
yeah.
This message comes from our sponsor, Wix e-commerce, the professional platform that enables entrepreneurs all over the world to create and run their online stores and grow their e-commerce businesses. One of those entrepreneurs is Angel Gregorio, who runs thespicesuite.com, a $2 million multi-channel business on Wix. When the pandemic forced so many brick and mortar businesses to close their doors, Angel knew that she had to pivot to online to keep selling her spices and keep up with the demand from her loyal customers. In fact, in just 2 months, she sold over $900,000 worth of spices through her online store, and her last batch sold out in 2.5 minutes. Angel uses her social channels to drive special sales and email marketing to update her customers about new inventory and upcoming events. She also uses in-depth analytics to gain business insights and monitors everything in her sales funnel, store management, marketing automation, and detailed payment reports, all from one dashboard. So if you want to succeed in 2021 and grow your online business like Angel did, head over to wix.com/e-commerce today.
Ever wonder how the e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they just know the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized, multi-channel marketing campaigns using the most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant email and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with your free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. So how many stores are you in now?
Oh, total in the United States, we have about 50 doors. And then, you know, here locally is kind of like the you know, the more densely populated stores of ours is here in our backyard. But then we do quite a bit of distribution in Japan. The Japanese market really loves, you know, this technology and kind of anything that makes things more convenient in life easier. You know, they really jump on products like that. So our distributor over there is, you know, done really well for us, and we're in about 100 plus stores in Japan. That's because they've kind of, one of our retailers over there is, they've got like 60 plus of those stores just themselves. So between the US and Japan, you know, we're in 100 plus stores. And then online is really nice for us. REI, as I mentioned, and backcountry.com. Those are both, you know, large retailers. That backcountry.com, especially, their online presence is everything. They've since opened up a few physical stores in the last year here, but yeah, about 150 stores.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So you guys got a good mix of online and
A little bit of everything. We got mom and pop, like brick and mortar, smaller stuff, different ski resorts throughout the States. And then, you know, a little step above that, you know, a little more of a chain style ski and see here in Salt Lake. They, you know, they have 10 plus locations. We're in a bunch of those. And then, yeah, like you said, some of the bigger, you know, REIs nationwide, backcountry.com's nationwide, if not global. And then, yeah, some distribution internationally, which really helps.
Now, I want to like ask you a question about seasonality, because I'm thinking about seasonality in a couple different ways. Like, people go crazy during those months that your product is in, but then in the summertime, people don't need them unless they're going into the French Alps or they're doing something crazy like that.
Southern Hemisphere or something. Yeah.
Right. So how does that hurt your business, or how does that help your business? Like, what is that like?
I mean, we forecast around it, you know, it's in the plan. That's for sure. You know, our real selling months are November, December, January. You know, if sales will happen February, March, but we really bank on those 3 months, and then we just plan around it. You know, we're super bootstrapped. So we run on a, you know, there's just a couple of us in house, so everyone's taken care of, and, you know, operations just kind of chill out and go on a little bit more maintenance mode in the summer, which really, you know, it's kind of nice for our own mental health. And, you know, the brand just kind of stays steady. We do all the manufacturing during the summer. So, you know, currently as we talk, the gloves are being made overseas. So all that process is happening right now. It's just the selling season is those 3 months. Some things we've done to, you know, mitigate that and help make it more year round is, yeah, we've gone, you know, down to the Southern Hemisphere, opened some retailers, but that's a pretty small market in comparison. You know, a lot of it's tourism. So you're still going to get your products up here and take them down with you. But kind of working on other industries, you know, we've got hunting and fishing. We've got a small selection available for that on our site. That's a little more year round, because you can travel to areas where it's gonna be cold for both of those sports. But we'd really like to open up moto, like motorcycling, off-road, street bike gloves. You know, I personally have a couple sample pairs that I ride, and it's, you know, another thing, just all those small things, your chin strap, you're filling up your gas tank, just, you know, grabbing water off the back of the bike or something. There's 100 uses again, and motorcycling is a year-round sport. You know, you want protection even if it's 100 degrees out, so it's not necessarily a warmth factor. So opening up another industry for us would really help with that.
Yeah, quads. I mean, you got people riding quads all year round. I mean, my son has 2 quads. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, there's a lot of applications. It just it seems that you guys there is some opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Just some other industries. You know, we are snowboarders, so that's why we started here, and we were consumers of it. So we really, you know, we've really got this, you know, industry really kind of locked down, and there's definitely plenty of room to grow. But we'd really like to explore some other industries and really open those more for the year-round business.
Like I can see these things being big, like a big gifting item too, like during Christmas and
Oh, that's
Hanukkah and
yeah, for sure. And as I mentioned, we were on Shark Tank, and that was the holiday episode, which helped in so many ways. It was
oh wow.
perfect timing for our product because it is a winter product. And then, like you said, for gifts, Christmas was right around the corner. So yeah, no, that's one of our months. November, December, January is like our heavy sales time. So definitely Christmas gifts is a big factor.
It seems like that niche too, that skier, snowboarder type niche is just perfect fit for expanding that line, because your snowboarder is going to be a motocross guy or a motorcyclist or a hiker, he's that outdoor kind of. So it's not like you have to go into another, niche. You could just keep selling. You have your hero product, which is the snow glove. Then you just sell them other things that just fit perfectly with them after they've gotten, that first product.
Exactly.
Right, which goes into my next question is like, what do you got? Because I think this is kind of like the downfall of just being in retail. It's like you're not collecting any customer data, right? Like, or customer information, like, right? Like, so if you're heavy on online, at least if you have somebody's email, you can do what Kevin said. Like they bought one of your products, now you can email them. So do you guys doing any like email acquisition? Are you guys?
Of course, yeah. Any events, any trade shows, our site, newsletter, and then we use email marketing, and that's actually a big push. Whether it's clearing out the warehouse at the end of the season or new products showing up at the beginning of the season, a lot of our customer base really responds off our email marketing. We've done Facebook ads, we've done Instagram ads. Those definitely help. Those drive traffic, but because our customer base is pretty strong, like they become loyal to the products. They really love that technology. So, sending out an email, we really get that return on that investment because they want the next one or they want that discount at the end of the season. And that's definitely one of our biggest marketing pushes is email for sure.
It's most profitable too. I mean, you pay for it once and then you could sell multiple times.
Yeah. And so, it's just, it lets them know products in or products going out and just very direct that way.
You also mentioned Amazon earlier. How big of a part of your business is that? It's not, we don't focus a ton on it. We actually allow one of our retailers, Green Room out of California, they do a lot on Amazon themselves and they have a physical store, but they purchase from us as if it's a wholesale order. They purchase their wholesale order for in-store and then they purchase their Amazon portion. We let them management. I know there's other ways that could probably be like, we could really grow that Amazon side of things. This just kind of works out for how we run the business, and they do really well managing the page and driving sales, and really like they still hold to our MAP policy. So no, it's not like we're being undercut on Amazon or anything. It's still managed by us essentially. And so really the benefit you get by going to Amazon's that 2-day shipping if you're a Prime member. The gloves will cost the same, but you'll get that advantage being a Prime member.
Yeah, the only downside I think with Amazon, or not only, but like you don't have the customer. Obviously, it's Amazon's customer, and number two is like their return policy too. It's like, that's like
too easy.
Yeah, it's like killer. Like people don't. Oh, I don't like the black. It's not black enough, or something stupid. They just send it back.
Do you have that problem with them, with Amazon?
We haven't, and as I mentioned, one of our retailers really manages all that. So even returns, anything like that falls back on them.
They could just sell it in their store.
Yeah, exactly. Anything warranty, we would take care of course. So it would go back to them and then they'd bring it back to us. But that really hasn't come up. Our Amazon returns have gone away. Yeah.
How about the price point? What's the price point of this?
MSRP anywhere between 60 and 140, depending on, that's leather, that's a higher quality insulation when you're hitting that 140 mark. The 60 is more of like entry level neoprene, lightweight spring style glove or mitten. Everything comes both ways. But that just is a materials and price point difference there. So your leather is going to last season after season, and the other stuff, you're entry level and you're seeing if you like it, a little more price point friendly.
Well, the people that are like the diehards, they'll always go for the higher one. Like for me
course.
with golf, I'll never buy just cheap shit.
Yeah.
I'm but Kevin, he'll buy it as cheap as he can get it. Right. It's like, it's just different, like market too.
Well, I've been to his site and he's got the sale category. I was going to buy from there. I was going to buy from there. He's got the 50% off, just little cosmetic defects in there.
A little blemish.
Yeah, that's my category on the site.
Did you guys get a deal with the shark? I didn't watch it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you're good. On air, we partner with Barbara. So what you see, if you watch the episode, we partner with Barbara. Just during the due diligence, things change. We ended up not taking the deal, which was fine. We've been doing it on our own ever since, and that's really nice. The episode aired, which was the biggest thing, right? But you really don't know that until a week before. Like that's when you can start talking about it, and it's kind of confirmed that it's going to air. But no, we didn't end up partnering. But yeah, if you watch the episode, we partner with Barbara.
A lot of people that we speak to that we've had in the podcast, the same thing. It's like, obviously what you see on there, like a lot of people lie and they'll be like, yeah, we make $20 million. And then they go look at their books and they make like 100,000,
Yeah, exactly. And, the deal started on our, it's kind of a fine line you walk because you're trying to, obviously you want the deal, you want a great deal, right? Of course. And
right.
You also want the episode to air, and just didn't make sense for us to take it after, kind of really looking into it, and started changing a little bit. So we just decided to stay on our own, and it's been nice that way.
Yeah, something really interesting happened, Jason, because I watched it this morning, and I've never seen it happen before. But the guy, Don, his partner, who he was there with, they were like negotiating with Barbara, and then he decided that he was going to throw in like 300 grand, like sitting there.
Yeah,
so I thought that was really cool. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, no, Don's total badass. Yeah, that was no one's done that on Shark Tank before.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what do you guys, you don't have to give me exact numbers, but you guys, 7-figure, 8-figure, 6-figure, where are you guys now? I mean, I'm interested in this because like, it's such a short period of time, but the way you're talking, you're like our stuff's out of stock. We have stuff in Japan. Like, how big is this friggin' business?
Yeah, I mean, we're in 7 figures for sure. We're still growing, and there's so much more piece of it. At least even there's the snow industry, pie to have, because the main gloves are not ours still. Like the big sellers are different brands, Hestra, Black Diamond, and they're just traditional gloves that don't serve a functional purpose. So there's lots to have there, but we do pretty good right now.
Yeah, it seems like you're really focused on wholesale too, and getting it in retail. Are you looking to grow the e-commerce side more? You're looking to go that route?
Yeah, of course. We're currently working on a new website right now in the off season, so that'll launch with the new product come this winter, and we're going to really focus on bringing more in there. We really hold to our MAP policy, so our retailers, everyone, it's all fair for everybody, but we're about 50-50 right now with our e-commerce and our wholesale side of things. And, having reps really helps throughout the States, and those guys get us into these awesome shops. But yeah, no, I mean, the future is e-commerce. So of course we want to continue growing that.
Kev, we're in the wrong business, man. We got to find something seasonal where we could do, millions of dollars like in 3 months and then play golf the rest of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got to do that, that the R&D during the off season.
That's right. That's what I mean. We have to buy all the clubs. We got to test them all out. At our country clubs, this is like, we're doing this wrong, man. Why are we trying to find businesses that are 12 months a year?
Yeah, I know. Doing it wrong, man.
This is terrible.
Nice for the mental health, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've never thought of it that way because, I feel like Kevin and I, we have, like I said, we have 3 businesses. We have the podcast, we have the agency. I just feel like it's a friggin' mental grind, like 12 months a year. Not only in business, but I got to deal with this fucking guy for 12 months a year. I would love to have a business I could just deal with him. Like, we haven't gotten into me and the bickering back and forth. But perfect example of working with this guy, right?
Oh, here we go.
Right? Perfect example. When the man is busy, you can't ask him nothing. He's just busy, right? But if you're busy and he asks you to do something, it had to be done like when he asked.
What are you talking about? What?
Like this morning, you're like, hey, you reach out to Christy? I'm like, I haven't had time.
Well,
Like, The emails have to go out. I'm like, I haven't had time.
You keep
Well,
telling
but
me
you know-
you're going to reach out to Christy, and when are you
No,
going to reach out to
this-
Christy?
This was yesterday. I told you I'd reach out to her. So, but him, hey, Kev, you do that? Nah, man, I just haven't had time. Okay,
I'm just waiting for now I'm going to have to do it. Probably.
Right.
That's usually what happens. So he doesn't do it. So then I'll just pick up and do it myself.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. So he's just waiting. He's just waiting for me to just do it.
I'm not. You're not the only guy that has shit to do. But anyway, the point is, any business that I could deal with this guy a little bit less would be perfect. We got to do that, Kev.
You would miss me
Seasonal.
so much.
Yeah, right. But I love it, man. I love the fact that you guys have this, like, you have this niche, man, that, like, first of all, like you said, there's like a lot of room to grow. I mean, even if you know, a couple $1 million or $1 million or $5 million, that's like nothing in that industry. I mean,
Definitely. Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's hundreds of millions being thrown around for sure.
and you need more than one glove. I think, like, I don't feel like you just need one. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I need a couple of them.
I mean, I use light ones in the early season, late season, and my heavy insulated leather ones in the middle of the season. I definitely, keep like kind of a little quiver of gloves for sure. And then, they do over time, you'll need another pair. They last for a few seasons, but it's time to get a new pair, whether it's color change or you bought the, price point friendly pair and you really enjoy them. So now you want to upgrade to the leather or something.
Or you guys come up with new technology, or like in that new scanning thing, right? Like maybe the older one didn't have it, but the new one has it. I mean,
Mhm.
just keep changing shit like that. You can buy it all the
Yeah.
time. That's awesome, man.
That's cool, man. So, so where can everybody find you to go see these gloves and check you out?
Yeah, handoutgloves.com. That'll give you all the information about us. Backcountry.com, Amazon, of course, as we talked about, utahskis.com, and then if you're in Japan, Murasaki.
Was handout.com just available?
Handoutgloves.com.
Oh, handout. So you have handoutgloves.com.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been great.
Make sure
No,
you buy
this is
some,
good.
Kevin. Stop being cheap.
I'm on the 50% off ones for sure. Those Thank you so much, Jake.
Thank you.
Appreciate
guys.
it, man.
Pleasure.
Take it easy, man. Another great interview, Jason. Really cool journey that guy had with the Shark Tank and developing that product from actually something that kind of he acquired from somebody else. So it was
I love that, man. I love, he skips over a big part of the process when you acquire a company that
Mhm.
has a product already. Not to say that it's easy, but you have a head start, so to speak.
Right.
There are people out there that just will only buy websites or businesses or e-commerce companies that have a product already that they just have to improve or just sell it better. So I love it. I love.
Isn't there a website that just has like businesses that are for sale?
Flippa, I think
Maybe we should do that. Just do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like
You got any
that.
money? Buying houses? Got any money left?
No, not right now. Right now, I'm going to be about broke. You just handed over a lot of money for your house.
Yep.
I'm about to hand over not as much, but definitely some money.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, that was fun. That was a good episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. That's been episode 217. As always, you can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.
Attention e-commerce founders, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, marketers, and growth hackers. If you're working round the clock to build your dream e-commerce business, you need an e-commerce marketing platform that works just as hard as you do. That means you need Klaviyo. With Klaviyo, you'll delight customers and drive revenue at the same time, with personalized emails and SMS marketing campaigns that you can design and send in minutes. For more, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.
This message comes from our sponsor, Wix e-commerce, the professional platform that enables entrepreneurs all over the world to create and run their online store and grow their e-commerce business. One of those entrepreneurs is Angel Gregorio, who runs the SpiceSuite.com. In just a few months, she sold over $900,000 worth of spices through her online store alone. So if you want to grow your business in 2021, head over to wix.com/e-commerce.